Here's a full hunger guide. How to control your hunger, especially during the fat loss phase. I know you're waiting for your next meal right now. My name is Omar, and I was able to lose 80 plus pounds within a year, and I've also helped others during their fat loss journey. Today, I will be discussing the science behind hunger and how you can control your appetite during your fat loss phase. Upcoming, I'll be explaining what hunger is and how to control it. And I'll be giving you actionable steps on what you can do. Also, I have this ultimate fat loss protocol in which I explain to you the science behind what you're doing and give you a personalized regimen on how to apply the information that you're learning. A lot of people don't stay consistent is because they don't know why. So how could you put your full trust in what you're doing if you don't know why? Now I give you the science behind it, the explanations, and now you can make your own decisions and you'll become the type of person in which you're making your own personalized decisions and you'll be able to help other people because you're learning from somebody who has read about it, done it themselves, and helped other people. So if you're interested, click on the top link in the description right now and prepare to lose that weight. All right, let's begin the video. Now, why should you even learn the science behind it or the why behind anything? Why should I learn the science of controlling hunger? Wouldn't it be a better idea to just drink diet soda or eat low calorie options instead? Well, according to this article by Marshall S. Runge, here's a sobering statistic. Roughly 90% of people who lose a lot of weight eventually regain just about all of it. And this is a quote from this article. But there's two reasons for this. Number one, the science of it. This is the science explanation. Energy expenditure. That's basically how much energy you have throughout the day. So it turns into energy. Well, for every kg, roughly 2.2 pounds of lost weight, energy expenditure decreases about 30 calories per day. So meaning that the people who lose significant weight often have lower energy expenditure compared to those who are never obese. So if you lose a lot of weight, just like me, you're at, a good body weight, you're literally at a disadvantage just because other people didn't have to lose that weight. It has more energy overall than you. And now you also have an increased hunger and a decreased energy expenditure, making it harder to keep the weight off. Well, number two, studies have shown that self-efficacy plays a significant role in achieving and maintaining weight loss. Higher levels of self-efficacy have been linked to increased physical activity, leading to better weight loss outcomes. Building new lifestyle habits is easier with strong self-efficacy. Therefore, T2D prevention interventions typically aim to improve self-efficacy to develop and maintain healthier physical activity and diet behaviors, thus increasing the likelihood of successful weight loss outcomes. Now, what even is now, like I said in the quote, if you have self-efficacy, you are more likely to keep the weight off and lose the weight. Now, what even is self-efficacy? Self-efficacy, this is a quote again, refers to an individual's belief in their ability to succeed in specific situations or accomplish a task, including the confidence and knowing they can achieve their goals. If you watch One Piece, you know this man is the definition of self-efficacy. The best anime. Okay, we're not gonna go over that. This man Luffy will jump through hell and heaven just to get to what he wants. Literally, he has done it. Skypiea and that prison. He's been to both and back. You feel me? So if you're looking at a person who is literally defined as the self-efficacy, go ahead and watch some One Piece. You'll love it. Trust me. Meaning, the more confident you are in your knowledge of fitness, the more likely you are to keep the weight off. How do we become confident? By trusting what we know. How does one get to know? By understanding it. How does one understand it? By learning it. As a result, you'll instinctively trust what you know. And that's how you can actually learn about something and be able to apply it to your own life and see way better results compared if you just didn't know why and then you just try it out. Because when times get hard, when times get tough, you will break down if you don't know why you're doing the thing that you're doing. Why do you think it's such common advice to write down your goals and why you want it? Because it's meant for those times. So that's exactly why I believe it is important to explain the science behind things. Now, let's begin with the actual video. What is hunger? Our bodies desire to remain in a state of homeostasis. Homeostasis is basically stability. So for example, right now, I'm neither cold or hot. So if you look at these examples, if you're sweating, if you're hot, if your body is cold, your body will shiver to get hot. Similar to these bodily functions, your brain signals to you to get food when running low on energy or essential nutrients needed for survival and for basic functions. There's two ways our brain signals hunger. So all you gotta know about the first one is the short-term hunger signals. This regulates our immediate need for food. So pretend like we got this box. Oh, let me tell you what it is real quick. The gut-brain axis are neurons in the gut and hormones released during digestion, sending signals to the brain to control appetite. So let's just say this is not actually how it works, but let's just say in your body there's this box, and then there's like lasers. You feel me? You know what I mean? You know how in those criminal movies you'd be seeing the lasers, they got the RJ and stuff. Imagine that's there. When the food drops down, and when it drops down, that's how the gut knows that there's food in your stomach. And then it notifies your brain, and your brain stops, from feeling that hunger feeling. For me. For the long term hunger signals, the hypothalamus is what monitors your body fat. And it can either boost or decrease your metabolism. And your metabolism is essentially how food in your body gets converted into energy. You feel me? So if it boosts it up, you can burn more calories and you can get more energy. But if it slows it down, you burn less food, having less energy. Now, if that's the case, if the hypothalamus can monitor body fat levels, then wouldn't it be best to boost metabolism for overweight people so they can lose weight and become fit and healthy to avoid health problems in the long term? Sounds like a good hypothesis, but unfortunately, it don't work like that. Let me inform you on another key word: leptin. Leptin, the satiety hormone, produced by the fat cells. The levels of leptin in your blood directly reflects your body fat reserves. Essentially, the more body fat, the higher your levels of leptin. This is how the hypothalamus determines the amount of body fat in your body. This information is crucial for our body to gauge how urgent it is to seek our next meal. Leptin receptors in the brain map out neurons that control hunger. When these receptors receive leptin signals, they help regulate your feeling of fullness. So once you have more of these, you feel more full. When you lose weight, your leptin levels drop because you have less adipose tissue. Adipose tissue is just body fat. The reduction in leptin sends a signal to the brain indicating the body is starving, triggering a homeostatic response. A homeostatic response, think about homeostasis as a destination and homeostatic as the driver. So homeostasis, you want to be maintained in stability. So if you're hot, you're gonna sweat. If you're cold, you're gonna shiver. The shivering and the sweating is the homeostatic. Your body's trying to get back to stability. Now, if you starving yourself, you're, what I'm saying, if you're getting less food in, your body's like, oh shoot, we gotta starve. We gotta preserve some energy. And then you're gonna slow down your metabolism and you're not gonna lose that much weight. Now, with that being known, let's answer the question. Why the hypothalamus won't increase metabolism at higher levels of leptin, body fat? Yeah, I just moved that for no reason. Our body's primary function is to survive. When you lose weight, your fat cells shrink and produce less leptin. Lower leptin levels signal the hypothalamus that energy reserves are decreasing. In response, the hypothalamus triggers a mechanism to conserve energy, leading to a decrease in metabolism. Due to metabolism slowing down, the body chooses to save energy to protect against starvation. As a result, losing weight becomes progressively harder because the body is trying to maintain its energy balance. This is why many people experience plateaus in their weight loss journey and why long-term weight management maintenance can be challenging. So yeah, like back in the day, we didn't have a refrigerator near us. Back in the day, we didn't have McDonald's around the corner. Unfortunately, you feel me, through evolution, if we want to change this and want to boost our metabolism, based on primary functions, we're going to have to go into thousands of years of just having easy access to food and things like that. All right, let's go over this slide. How the whole hunger and thirst system work. So essentially, thirst is driven by negative reinforcement. So you want to get rid of the unpleasant feeling of not having water. While hunger is driven by attraction and reward. So you actually want to enjoy your food and things of that nature. And the thing about that is how the food industry is finessing the shit out of us. Dopamine drives us to obtain food by learning environmental cues to predict food. So that's why everywhere you go, every 3 blocks you see this McDonald's symbol. And it's triggering us to go ahead to McDonald's and get some burger, fries, or chicken nuggets. These highly positive foods often leverage the powerful influence of dopamine on wanting, making them highly desirable regardless of their actual taste or nutritional value. So actually, you wanting to get the burger, you want to get the fries, actually gives you more dopamine than you actually eating it. Ain't that crazy? And you know how, like I just discussed, hunger is hunger is more about attraction and reward of the food consumption. So now when the burger looks nice, the fries, the ketchup, you think about it, you're more likely to go. And they're taking advantage of human nature. These elements can exploit dopamine driven motivations, drawing people towards foods based on external cues rather than exactly. People recognize the McDonald's sign as a cue for food ability, regardless of taste, proving that dopamine is associated with the hunt. What's the point of losing weight? McDonald's is finessing me. My brain is literally against me. What am I supposed to do? But no worry. That's just what this video is for. Do not fright. Here are some practices you can do to control your hunger. The first step was understanding the nuances of hunger. Now, here are some practical solutions for controlling your hunger. How we can use our mind to control our hunger. Here's solution number 1: belief and experimentation. The milkshake study. So, this study was the participants were given the same milkshake but told different things about the caloric content, the calories, basically. Those told it was calorically high experienced lower ghrelin hormones than those told it was calorically low. So calorically high is like, like compared to like 750 calories, and then another group was most likely told it was 350 calories. And the ghrelin hormone is increased appetite and hunger. So if you have more ghrelin, you are more hungry. If you have less ghrelin, you are less hungry, reducing appetite. So essentially, these people who was told that, oh, this is very low calories, actually started to feel more hungry compared to the people who was told it was more calories. But the calories were exactly the same. I'll just tell you an example. They were exactly the same. None was higher than the other. And this proves that our mind has a big influence on ourselves. Now, you feel me? And this is not about the calories being lower and they lost more weight. They just felt less hungry. And hunger has been shown to be a great factor in losing weight. So that's why most of these strategies are about controlling your hunger as opposed to cheap tactics on like boosting metabolism or whatever, or trying to eat this type of food, that type of thing. Most of these strategies are based on controlling your hunger. The flavor and nutrient conditioning experiments. Rats learn about which foods to eat depending on the nutrients that food had, similar to how humans learn to eat nasty vegetables because they're good for you, but through really the nutritional value. So they had tested on rats, and then the rats had eventually picked the foods that were more nutritional for them. And why I brought this up was that we can condition our minds to eat foods that are better for us. Exactly how I did. And I was going to show you an example of how I utilize this in here. So try elimination diet and seek to understand nutrients. So back in the day, I remember like around high school senior year, there was this ongoing joke and my friend being like, "Oh yeah, I'm eating this because it's protein. It's protein." But my friend, he was probably eating like some burger, some chopped cheese, some some high fatty, high carb food. And he was like, "Oh, it's for the proteins, for the protein." And I always thought I was like, "Oh, bruh." But then I started to say this, in my mind as well. I started to eat like actual healthy foods with a whole lot of protein. Be like, "Oh yeah, I'm eating for the protein, for the protein." And I was trying to, maintain as much muscle. So when I kept doing this, I noticed that the foods I was eating completely made a 180. I went from eating or whatever cereal, eating a whole bunch of rice with a whole bunch of oils on top of it, curry rice and all that stuff or stew. And bro, it's been a minute. I don't remember what I used to eat, but McDonald's, the Oreo McFlurries, that was my favorite. Dunkin' Donuts. I started to replace all those stuff with chicken breast. And I just had in my mind, like, oh yeah, it's for the protein, it's for the protein. And that eventually led me to the carnivore diet. And that's how exactly I restarted my diet. And how I suggest for you. I don't suggest for you to go on a carnivore diet. I suggest for you to go on your own elimination diet. And this is what I did. Well, I kind of went a little bit obsessive, but this is how I would suggest for you 2 to 4 weeks and add back a food with a purpose. So I went with the full carnivore diet for about like 5 to 6 months. And I decided to add back food to. And now you don't have to go on a carnivore diet. I just thought it was just much easier because I didn't want to get rid of meats. If you want to go a vegetarian diet or a hard or whatever diet you want, then go ahead. But I started with the carnivore diet, and then after 2 to 4 weeks, you can add back fruits. And the reason why I went on the carnivore in the first place because I wanted the most focus as possible. And then I noticed that I wasn't really having that much energy during my workout, so I was added back fruits, and I just did it beforehand. And then I added back peanut butter, for calories because it was getting a bit tough. I had to eat all that meat. Come on, guys, let's be serious here. And then I added back rice because it was just convenient. When I got back home and I was at my school no more, I didn't really have that grocery store right next to me, so I decided to add back rice so that I can get my calories in. And then I started to add back other things. Eat a diverse yet simple diet. And now in the podcast, I'm gonna link it in the description because I got a lot of notes from it. Kevin Holt at the NIH conducted an experiment where people were hospitalized to control their diet. So Kevin Holt didn't come to the house, beat their legs and then throw in the hospital. They just they willingly went to the hospital and did the thing. One group ate ultra processed foods. Another group ate whole foods during the same period. Right. So they had two groups. One group eating ultra processed, and then another group eating whole foods. You feel me? And they were eating the same volume, or they was given the same volume. Both groups could eat as much as they wanted. They was given the same volume to eat as much as they wanted. After 2 weeks, they switched their diet. Despite similar tastiness, like the foods, were both pretty good. Those eating more processed foods, palatability, they both were very palatable. Those eating more processed foods not only ate more, but also gained more weight. And it's mainly because it was processed foods. And the whole foods, it takes more energy to digest and it has more volume because of the water content and salt. For me, these ultra processed foods were optimized to have the perfect amount of fats, sugars, and proteins to promote more consumption. So they were really good. You feel me? And they wanted more. Plus, it took less energy to digest. The short-term hunger signals. So this is where this comes into play. Whole foods have higher fiber and water content, which affects gut hormones and sensory signals communicating with the brain via the gut-brain axis. This influences feelings of fullness and satiety. So, because whole foods generally have more water and fiber, you're gonna feel more full while eating them. That's the main reason. Well, that's what I assume. The main reason why people suggest eating whole foods and why they call it healthy is because they just make you feel more fuller and you're less likely to overeat on them compared to processed foods. Now, here's an example of whole foods and processed foods. These are just examples. If you want, take a screenshot. I don't expect you to, just make a diet right here and now, but here are just examples of whole foods and processed foods. Now, can you never have processed foods again? No, But here are some examples of healthy processed foods. Now, one off the top of my head is whey protein. Whey protein is phenomenal for you. For me, whey protein gets your protein in, and that's what I take as well. Right now, I'm taking casein protein, nut butters, whole grain bread, canned tuna, frozen vegetables, Greek yogurt, all this stuff. These are the healthy processed foods that I typically like. I don't eat all of them, obviously. I don't really like pasta like that. Got tofu going on, and nah, I don't eat tofu. But me, if you want some processed foods in your diet, then here's the ones that I suggest. If you simplify your diet, then sensory specific society alone can cause you to eat less due to less variety in your diet. You don't want to eat more of that same thing. So if you make an anabolic food in which it's Oreos or it's like pizza, burgers, but it's anabolic. And anabolic meaning is like the healthy version. It's less fat or it's less carbs. It has a lot more protein. That's usually what anabolic food are. The problem with that is you're gonna want more of it. So you're gonna be eating this Oreo meal and you're gonna want more. So you're gonna be trying to make as much as you can, and then you're gonna eventually eat your calories because calories matter the most. You can eat at maintenance a high fat and a high carb diet at maintenance, and you won't gain that much weight. But if you eat more than your calories, more than your maintenance calories, then you're going to gain weight. So because this tastes so good, you're going to want more of it, especially if it's sweet. However, you don't want to limit your diet because if you limit your variety, you are more likely to crash out and eat the same junk food. So what I mean by that is, imagine this was your diet for every single day. This is just an example. Oats and peanut butter, tuna sandwich, Russian chicken. That was your same exact meal for 3 to 4, 5 months straight. You are going to crash out and eat all the junk food you can find. So what I suggest is not making your food ultra tasty, spending a whole lot of time making them, but also not eating the same exact meal every single day. Solution number 3, drink more water. Actionable step, drink loads of water before a meal. Humans sometimes confuse hunger with thirst, leading to potential overeating. Sometimes humans misinterpret thirst for hunger and overconsume foods that are salty or low in content. So you may eat food that is high in salt, and you may think, oh, I need some more food to eat. You actually may want water. You don't want to confuse the two and overeat your calories. So make sure you drink a whole lot of water before a meal just to make sure that you're actually hungry instead of you're just thirsty. Humans cannot survive longer than 3 to 4 weeks without food. Think about that. 3 to 4 weeks without food. But with water, you cannot survive more than 4 days. So that's why it's very important to drink your water. Thirst is driven primarily by unpleasant sensation of dehydration. See, you probably sponge around right here and you be eating all that chicken or eating all that food, but you actually just wishing for water. We prioritize getting out of discomfort as opposed to getting to comfort. Feel me? So just make sure that you drink a whole bunch of water so that you're actually hungry and not wanting more water. Now with the drugs and stuff, I wasn't really too interested in this part. I'll make a whole video in the future about the best drugs for fat loss. But right now, these GLP-1 drugs are just meant to reduce your hunger. That's what it's mainly meant to do. And one, for example, is that I can remember off the top of my head is Ozempic. If you try to get Ozempic ingested or in pill form, that can reduce your hunger and help you lose weight. But with the drugs, I wasn't really interested. All in all, now you know how hunger works. You can connect your newly found knowledge of hunger to how you approach eating. My name is Omar, and I was able to lose 80 plus pounds in a year. And I also helped others on their weight loss journey. I talked about how hunger works and how you can apply that knowledge to making better eating choices. Here's a plan of action for you. Out of the 3 solutions I discussed about, try them out and see which one works for you so that you can lose that weight and reduce your hunger. Now, again, I have the Ultimate Fat Loss Protocol. So if you're looking to get a science and get a regimen personalized for you to help you lose that weight, then go ahead and click on the top in the description so that you can become the type of person who can help other people out and, more importantly, help yourself out so that when you get into the times where you're really hungry and you don't want to continue on the journey, you'll be able to push through because you know the reason why. So click on the top link in the description right now. And with that being said, always take it one step at a time because you may never know where that one step may lead you.